Hey YouTube, it's Mitch at iPhoneCaptain.com. Today we're going to be talking about two major issues with the new iOS 8 upgrade. One being Wi-Fi connection, two being battery issues. We're going to spend our time today discussing 8 ways to improve battery problems. And when I say problems, I mean drainage. There has been a lot of people complaining with this problem, so let's go ahead and get started. The first one you can do is make sure that you can check your apps under the battery usage section to see which application is taking up most of your battery power. Now, if you find that it's an app that you're not using a whole lot, you could just go ahead and delete it. If it's an application that you need, you could disable things like location services. Maybe you could just keep it from running in the background. There's a few things you can do to improve battery quality, and those are just a couple things you can do right there. The next one, of course, is what I just said. You can disable location services for all the applications on your device and only enable it when you are using that particular app which needs location services, like Maps. You're not using Maps every day, most users aren't, and therefore when you're not using Maps, just disable location services for Maps. And you can do that very easily, guys. Next up, you need to disable background app refresh. This is a biggie because a lot of applications, even though you don't see them running, they're sitting there in the background running and staying ready to go just in case you do call on them. That way they don't have to take time to open and log in or whatever it is they will need to do. They're doing this all in the background. Also, you need to turn off the push feature for your email. If a lot of you get emails throughout the day and you hear that little notification coming through, each time that notification comes through, it's taking battery power. So what you could do is you could set it to fetch and only fetch your emails every 15, 30, or an hour, or do like me. I set mine to manually, and when I want to check my email, I simply just open the email and I go back to all the way back to all of my inboxes, and I pull down from the top and it refreshes every single email account on the page, and I get all of my emails when I need them, not as they come in. That way I save battery power. Another thing you can do is disable widgets. Widget was a new thing that came with iOS 8, but it does cost battery power. Now the way you do that is you simply just pull your notification center down, and you will scroll all the way to the bottom of the notification center and you'll see a big edit button. Tap that edit button and you're going to see different little lines there that's got things on it. One of them is going to be stocks. If you're like me, you're probably not going to be on Wall Street anytime soon, so you can disable that. I even deleted it. You can just sort of tap that little line beside it and it will delete it. If you don't want to delete it, you can at least pull it out of the notification center. That way it isn't updating that stocks for you and taking battery power. Another thing you can do is disable dynamic wallpapers. Now, I know they look cool, guys, but they take a lot of battery power, just like the parallax effect does the same thing. If you're not using any of those, disable those. They will help save battery. Bluetooth. If you're not using your little earpiece all the time, I know when you're at home, you're probably not using that. Disable Bluetooth. You can always turn it on, and it only takes a second for it to hook back up or sync back up. It don't take but just a couple seconds. Another thing people should do is set their auto lock to 1 minute. That way the phone isn't sitting there running for 5 minutes waiting to lock. Go ahead and set it to 1 minute. That's the lowest one you can go. And then when 1 minute comes, it'll lock. That'll save you 4 minutes of battery power on every time you unlock your device. And if you're like me, you unlock it several times a day. That's a lot of battery power right there in itself. One last thing before we go. Also, you need to dim the screen as low as you can stand to read it. Now, don't make it uncomfortable for yourself, but you don't need it wide open when it's daylight either. Just adjust the brightness where it's comfortable, but try to get it below that halfway point at least. Okay. Now, also before we go, I'm going to share a couple other things with you. I'm going to share a couple tips with you. The first one being on the iPhone 6 and 6 Plus, you can charge it in half the time using an iPad charger, meaning the little block that comes with the iPad charger, it's a lot bigger than the iPhone block that comes. You know, if you can think back, you know I'm telling you right. And what that is, that bigger iPad block, it allows 2.1 amps to come through, whereas the smaller block only allows like something like a half an amp or an amp maybe to come through. So you can charge your device in half the time using an iPad charger. This only works for the iPhone 6 and 6 Plus. That's it. It will not work for anything else. Also, guys, in case you didn't notice anything different, I'm using the iPhone 6 to record this video. Let me know about the video quality in the comments. Do you think it's any better or worse? Let me know what you think. Also, don't forget to share this video with all your friends and family so they can save their battery power too. And as always, guys, keep coming back.